Well, good afternoon, Rattlers. Once again, it's a pleasure, as always, to be before you. Welcome to the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club. Boy, didn't we have a great 2 weeks leading up to today. 2 wins to cap off the season. The Rattlers end up 7-5. Coach Colzie will be joining us momentarily. And as soon as he comes in, we're going to make the effort to get him on as soon as possible because he has to be at the Board of Trustees meeting today. We don't know if VP Suggs will be able to be here because obviously she sits on the president's leadership team. So she has to be at the Board of Trustees meeting as well, probably earlier than Colzie. But we will do things a little bit out of order. So just hang in there today. We're going to get you in and out and get you everything you're supposed to have today. Did everybody have a great Thanksgiving? Yeah. Sergeant Major, drop and give me 10. As always, it's a pleasure to be before you. And we're going to keep things rolling. And once we start, we're going to keep it going, and we're going to get you in and out of here today. Next week is our final week for this year. That's when we'll give away the mask. I'll bring the mask up here after Selvin does his presentation. Once again, the giveaway for the mask is $5 each ticket. The mask is all the way from Ghana. Richard Moore hand-delivered it. When he came back, it's a beautiful, beautiful mask. And tickets are only $5, and we're going to give it away next week. And it's a beautiful keepsake. Also, where are the hands of everybody who got the email yesterday, day before yesterday? If you're not getting the email, you need to sign up with Wilma and make sure that we have your correct email. We have a group email that goes out that gives a lot of information. So make sure. With that today, from my other job at HBCU Game Day, we started with these belts. They were $400 for the holiday season. We have only 15 left. We're going to sell them for $175. And if you'd like one, just see me after the meeting. We only have 15 left. This goes great in a FAMU room. It's very high quality. There's one on the table back there if you want to touch it. It's heavy duty. And it'll go great in that FAMU room. I know everybody in here has that FAMU room. Yes, they are handmade. All right. My favorite part of the day, let's talk about some money. We got in from Andrew George, Tampa, Florida. We got in a check for $100. Andrew, thank you very much. From Jimmy and Beatrice Thomas from Lutz, Florida. Where's Lutz, Florida? Lutz, outside of Tampa. Lutz, Florida, outside of Tampa. Jimmy and Beatrice Thomas, $225. Thank you so much. C.D. Crosby Harley paid her $200 on her $1,000. Thank you very much for that. All right. Gary Goodwin, another $100 he's paying on his. Listen. These $100 checks from the people that I keep seeing the names are just as good as one $1,000 check. I applaud everyone. We said it from the beginning. We're not asking everybody to pay $1,000 at one time. So thank you, Gary Goodwin, for your continued support. Harry Demps and Devin Demps, another $100 from them. You hear the same name over and over as they're being. We very, very much. Johnny Hill Jr. He's doing his in 2 installments, so his first one is $500. Thank you, Johnny. Titus Dees, I'm sure he's watching online. Titus, thank you very much. Our newest Grand Rattler, $1,000. Thank you, Titus. Thank you very much for those on. Let me tell you, it's very exciting when we get these in the mail. When we get these back, we know that people have paid attention. We know that the people here have conveyed to the people they've given the letters to exactly what to do. And this letter's in good shape. We can use this one again. All right. Nehemiah Chambers with another, that's another name you hear all the time. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. He told me from the beginning, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it along the way. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. We really appreciate that. And my good friend, my former postman, Pip and Mary Webster, thank you. Grand Rattlers, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Yeah, please take that. I have to turn it over to Wilma. I don't deal with the money. No, that's the letter. We're going to use this letter again. Our CEO bought one of the belts, and there is a donation going to the 220 Quarterback Club for each one of the belts. Once again, the belts are $175. The checks need to be made out to HBCU game day. I'll be at the table in the back if you're interested. Like I said, there are only about 15 left. There are only a little, like 125 ever made. But very high quality belts, championship belts. Uh-oh, somebody got some checks. Hold on, Wilma. Here you go.
Thank you so much, Vaughn. I have a check. I'm sorry, I have a check for Pam Blunt for $50. I have a check for Cynthia Smith for $50. And I have a check for my mother-in-law that's 89 years old for $200. All right. And she said, Walter, when you going to write your check? So my wife, B, said, write the check, Walter, for $1,000.
All right, thank you. We appreciate that. All right. I'm going to repeat them since some of y'all say we couldn't hear. We got to make sure people online hear their names called. Walter Spencer, thank you for your $1,000. Pamela Blunt, thank you for your $50 check. Alex Sloan and Hattie Sloan, thank you for your $200. And Cynthia Smith, thank you for your $50. All of this adds up, and we needed to keep adding up, and we want everybody's mindset to be Alfred Palmore, another $200. Thank you. Any more before Wilma leave? All right. All right, thank you. Once again, that is our purpose, to raise money for our athletics department and our university. And trust me when I tell you that we are making an impact. The board decided last week when the volleyball team was selected to go to the NCAA regional in Nebraska, that we know how difficult working in athletics. I definitely know how difficult it is for a trip that's not planned. So the 220 Quarterback Club gave $500 to Coach Gokhan to help with them to make sure that the ladies had a good experience in their travel to Nebraska. And I got to say this because I know a little bit about the history, so I'm going to say this. And we're going to show a little video. I just want to make sure I clear the way for Coach Colzie. So we may show the video after Coach Colzie. We have a video of volleyball, and we have the video from the Alabama A&M game. We're going to show those. But like I said, Coach Colzie's got to get in and out when he comes because he has to go to Board of Trustees meeting. But the history of our Lady Rattler volleyball team winning the SWAC and going to Nebraska. Back in 2004, Coach Tony Trifonoff had arguably, between 2001 and 2004, arguably the best volleyball team fam you ever had. They were ranked in the AVCA polls, and they went to Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, and did something nobody else had done. They had a winning streak that was almost 4 or 5 years long, and our volleyball team went to Lincoln, Nebraska, and defeated them 3-1. That legendary coach has won several national championships, and I'll never forget the broadcast hearing the announcer said, "I can't believe what I just saw." The Lady Rattlers went out there and dethroned the Cornhuskers in Nebraska. So what does that have to do with today? With me thinking that great coach at Nebraska is retiring after this season. So what would he want? He would want to face the one team that he had a losing record with. And I really think in my mind, that's how our team ended up in Nebraska, because you skipped over Georgia Tech. You skipped over a lot of places to get to Nebraska. So the only team that this coach had a losing record as he retires this year is Florida A&M. But the good news is, no matter what happens, he still won't leave with a winning record against FAMU. He can only be tied. So our Lady Rattlers have a task in front of them. It's a great environment. They sell out the arena, 5,000 people all the time for volleyball. I have a video from 2004 that we did with Coach Triffanoff, and some actual footage, and some footage for some other teams that great volleyball team defeated. So we're going to see that short video later on. We're going to see the Alabama A&M wrap-up video. And at this time, I'd like to bring up the executive director of the Rattler Boosters, Selvin Cobb.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are, as we just finished talking about volleyball, and that is what we are going to start off with today, because we are the volleyball SWAC champions. Right? We finished the season with a regular season record of 27-6. We went 16-0 in SWAC conference play. Right? We currently have a 10-game winning streak. Again, our next game is going to be Friday, 8 o'clock. That's going to be at the University of Nebraska. So we want to be sure that we want to be sure that we're watching that game as well. Okay? Now, let's move down to our women's basketball team. Currently, we are 0-8. The most exciting thing about it is we haven't played our first conference game. We played our first conference game on January the 4th. That's a Saturday afternoon. That's going to be at the Lawson Center. And our current opponent is going to be at Bethune-Cookman University. Okay? So we want to make sure that we start our conference play out right with the game there at 4 o'clock. Now, moving down to our men's basketball team. If you hadn't heard the news, we won the game last night. and that wasn't the first one we won. We've got, our record is currently at 2 wins and 5 losses. Our next game is 12-6. That's Friday night. It's going to be at 7 o'clock at the Trinity College. It's going to be at the Lawson Center as well. Again, our first SWAC conference game is going to be at the Lawson Center. Again, we're going to play Bethune-Cookman men's team. And we want to make sure that game doesn't start until 6 o'clock. So we want to make sure that we're there to get the victory as well. Now, one of the things that I guess we'll do this first, and that is several people. We've had a contest going where we would give a point, a check for every point that we scored in football, and several of us have missed a couple meetings, and several of us have kind of forgotten. But I just want to give you a number of the checks that we've gotten. And We're going to start out with Lois Hadley. I'm sorry, Hardy. $102. For those that's really current, who has been paying all week, that's a $69 check because of 41 points that we scored against Bethune and the 28 points that we scored on our last game. So that comes to 69. So $69 check. Miss Hadley, she writes every week, and $69 from Miss Hadley. Okay, and of course, here's my $69 as well. Okay, all right. Now, the reason why we do this. Okay. 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 Bill, did you hear that? Did you hear that one? That's the total. I called Janice. Did I call Janice Perkins? Yeah, Janice Perkins got $69. She's up to date. Okay. Bill, Miss Muse wants you to give up a total of how much money we've gotten for the year in nutrition. For the total year. For the total year, but what we raised in football. Oh, she wants to write one check. Okay, she wants to write one check. Yeah, come back to me. Okay. Now, just for the wins. She only want to write for the wins. she only want to write for the wins. She don't. Okay. So for the 7 wins that we had this past season, okay. All right. Okay. 7 wins. We won 7 games. Right. Okay. All right. But the reason why we did this is it's just so another way to raise money to help our nutrition program. Beginning in early, okay, thank you, $69. And this is from Thelma Dixie. And that is from Mr. Sam Dixie. Okay. Again, our nutrition program received a grant from the Alpha Z Gives. That's the Foundation for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And if all the members of Alpha Z that's here, and I know I got a couple of my brothers that's here, I want to just raise your hand right quick because we got a $6,500 check from the Alpha Z Gibbs. And of course, we want to make sure that we give our co-founder and our founder, and he wrote this on the check. He didn't write it on the check, but that's what it meant. Brandon Moore, our co-founder and chairman of the Alpha Z Gibbs. We also like to commend our past chairman, Nelson Grillo, and Ken Neighbors, and Maurice Stewart. So we like to thank them for the grant. All of the money that we get from nutrition, it goes for everybody. It goes from bowling all the way up to football, all the sports. So we really want to thank everybody for their participation. Okay. Again, moving to our booster meeting and the other caps that we wear. I have an opportunity to stand here with 100 black men, and a lot of our students get scholarships from the 100 black men to go they attend Florida A&M University. Every year, we have had we've had we've had a fundraiser, and with this fundraiser, we sell pecans. Some say pecans, but this is a bag of pecans. You got a bargain this year. We're only selling these for $12 a bag. Okay, for the smaller bags, and this is a pralines. We selling these for $5, and this is the praline pecans, and also the honey crisp. I have those two with me today. So if you don't see me before you leave, I give you my number, 850-445-9689. I'm sorry, $7. I'm sorry. Thank you. I know I got Wilbur back there. Wilbur's going to help me here. Okay, $7 a bag for the small bags, and $12 for the big bags. Now, Miss Hadley. Okay. 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 All, okay. Again, as I was doing the updates right quick, we're going to be right quick because coaches just come in and we want to get them out on time. We want to be sure that we again, there's a basketball game, men's basketball game. That's at Friday at Lawson Center. And the other one was, how much was it? How many? $282. If you want to write one check for that amount, please, we'll be more than happy to accept it. Okay? All right. Wilbur? Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Ready? Okay, Coach. Okay. At this time, here we Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate y'all letting me get here early. I gotta at 1 o'clock. I have to be at a board meeting. I don't know if I want to go in just yet. I gotta find out what the itinerary is. Where you walk? Some of these meetings you walk into, you might not want to be walking into. But I mean, hey, and my door was the right key. My key fed in. It fit into the lock. So as of today, I'm all is well. Now, Ms. Suggs is requesting me to be at a meeting at 1 o'clock. I'm actually doing exit meetings with our players right now. Some of our guys, they don't. Some of the professors on campus, they're doing finals this week. So a lot of our guys have the opportunity to go home this upcoming week. So I'm trying to catch them before we leave. And we've got about 70 guys that are coming back to our football team that are going to be a part of the 2025 class. So I'm meeting with them face to face, and then obviously we got about another 20 to 25 that are leaving. So I'm gonna we're gonna meet. Or I've been on phone calls with those guys and just talking to them just about what's next, graduation. Really quick. Again, obviously excited with how we finished. Had a couple bumps in the road as we went through the season, but now going through spring practice and getting ourselves ready for recruiting. We got 2 or 3 guys that are going to sign with us today, and then we'll sign a few guys in the portal once we get to January. But not everybody gets a chance to win their final game, we did, and I'm excited about that, happy about that. But rest assured, we know what the standard is. We understand what the standard is, and we'll make sure we do everything in our power to make sure we continue that standard as we get ready for the 2025 season. So I'll leave it at that. I know we got a few questions from everybody, and I'll make sure I answer those. But I was told to make sure I do get out by 12:45.
Yep. So Selvin's gonna. I got the first question.
Yes, sir.
In the video, I have a little scene like during the game at Alabama A&M. You and the referee were having a little discussion. What were you saying?
He said his mother had better apple pie than mine, and we were just comparing recipes, and then come to find out he didn't win. But I fight for my guys. I think they know that, and a lot of times you don't really get mad at the call. A lot of times you get mad at the timing of the call, when it may happen. So, I didn't think it was pass interference, and he felt that it was. And believe it or not, you don't change referees' calls, right? So, no matter how you stomp your feet or how mad you get, the call is the call. But I just wanted to let him know that I disagreed with what he may have said. Yeah.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on your first year winning season.
Thank you, sir.
And I know since you were hired, you done heard the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yes, sir.
And right now, I got a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't say they were good, bad, and ugly,
That's fine.
but they are that.
Okay.
The good, I just told you, winning record.
Yes, sir.
That's the good. The bad,
Yes, sir.
over the year, I have talked about our offensive line and running. I don't think that you all gave the offensive line any character this year. You all, in my opinion, you all coaching staff, did not respect that offensive line. With the size of the ball players I saw, and you didn't tell them to go out there and give those running backs space and time. You would go to one running play and forget about them. I call that character. You got to give that.
Boss man, he got to be gone in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so nobody else asked a question. What I want to ask on this, and I think you just hit it. Coming into spring practice.
Yes, sir.
In April, will we see some changes?
In what? In regards to what?
Thinking of the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I'll say this. You know, I'm doing exit meetings right now. We made a change in play calling duties, as we did the last couple weeks of the season, and in my call and in my conversation with the offensive staff, I know you guys watched the game, but what do you think I told our offensive staff to do the last 2 games of the season? Make sure we run the damn ball. Is what I really said, and I was going to incorporate some running backs that we have. I think we finished with almost 600 yards rushing the football over the last 2 football games, which ultimately gave us an opportunity to throw the ball. I thought we did a good job in the season. Obviously we're in the year, but if you remember what I said in the beginning of the year, I felt that we had the best group in the conference, our offensive line. I always thought we had a very, very good offensive line, and I still think we got a very, very good offensive line. So, it always starts with that. Believe it or not, we had 2 offensive linemen. First team all SWAC, Charles Davis and Ashton Grable made first team all SWAC. So we made 2 of the 5, right? 2 of the first team were 2 guys, and then I personally felt they left off TJ Lee, who undoubtedly should have been a first team all conference offensive line. So, we're going to have to be able to run the ball first if we want to be successful in this conference. And you guys got a great opportunity to see that these last couple weeks, what we can do when we run the football. And we were dominant. I mean, the first play of the first drive of the game, I think how many plays did we run? 2 plays. We ran the ball, touchdown, right? Against Bethune, how many was it? 3 plays? 3 or 4 plays the first drive? Touchdown, right? So, yes, to answer your question, boss man, you are 100% correct in your thinking. They may not think so, but I do. Got to run the football. And I appreciate your candor throughout the season. I really, really do. Thank you.
Coach.
Yes.
Coach, are you looking to recruit any dual threat quarterbacks, dual threat quarterbacks?
Where's Daniel Richardson at? He's right here. Yes, we are. But, I'll say this. I want to make sure the quarterback that we have best fits what we want to do system-wise, right? And in this conference, right, that's definitely an opportunity to do it. We do have an offense that I want to make sure that we're running. You saw our offense in full display over the last few weeks of the season of what we need him to look like. I need him to be a dual threat, but I also need him to make sure he makes great decisions, a guy that can throw the ball properly and put the ball in tight windows. So just because you have a dual threat doesn't necessarily mean he's a guy that fits our system. So that's what I want to make sure we're able to do. Now, a dual threat does help us in our system, but they also got to be smart enough to make the checks, right? They got to be smart enough to make sure we're running the right plays, getting the ball to the right people. So just can't say dual threat. I need a guy that's going to be able to do exactly what we did this past year. And obviously, Daniel Richardson, who was first team all conference, did that for us for the most part.
Coach, over here. I asked you this question before. Very interested in something being done with your cornerbacks and your defensive backs and safeties making most of the tackles, as opposed to your offensive line. Is there going to be some kind of concern for that next year?
And defensive line, and I think is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, defensive line.
I will say this. We're heavy in the portal to help with ourselves up front. And we might be losing a guy that might go into the portal. But I was Neighbor Jenkins and we had our exit meeting this morning, and we talked about our defense, our linebackers, and our DBs will only be better when our defensive line is where they need to be, right? So, it's very, very hard to have our DBs have to make a bunch of tackles, or our linebackers have to make a bunch of tackles. So, we're going to lose Big Allen Smith. This is number 23. We're going to lose him as a defensive end. So, but our in the portal, as far as our strength for right now, is offensive linemen and defensive linemen, which ultimately will allow our running backs, our linebackers, our DBs, right, to be much, much better players and be able to do the things that we need them to do on both sides of the football.
I just want to clarify. Allen is graduating. He's not getting any transfer portal, correct? Yeah, you said that together. That might have been confusing to people. Allen is graduate. He's already graduated, so we wanted to clear. All right, Coach, thank you for joining us. We don't want Dr. Beard calling us. If it's a quick one, he can get it.
It's quick. Real quick. Coach, congratulations. I understand
Thank you.
The portal.
Yes, sir.
Are you or anyone looking at Gaston County High School?
Absolutely.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck to them this weekend.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
They play Booker T. Don't they play Booker T this weekend?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Good. That'll be a good football game.
Yeah.
So
They beat Bowles.
Yes, to answer your question, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
I mean, and like I said to you guys, over the last couple of years, we were heavy 90-10 in the portal, but we're going to still sign high school guys. Under my watch, we're going to make sure we sign high school guys. And those high school guys, believe it or not, I'd love for them to be local, right? We keep them local. Let's go. Are they playing at home or is it on the road? Oh, you guys going to let Miami come up here and y'all going to let them out? Y'all going to let Miami guys out the stadium this weekend? I'm not biased. I just asked. I mean, if they win, are y'all going to let them out the stadium? That's all I want to know. No. But, hey, I'm sorry for rushing. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back to answer as many questions as we can later in the near future. But thank you for allowing me to be here for this year and hopefully years forward. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Colzie. Thank you for fitting us in the window like Daniel often does. For those online, I'll just let you know who we have in the room with us today. And they're going to give their accolades, but I know these guys. Allen, we got both number 23s here today, don't we? Okay, we got Allen here, defensive lineman, very good up the middle for us. More importantly, he's already graduated. So that's a great thing that we like to see our young men graduate. We talk about the excelling game. A big part of that was the running of Thad Frank Jr. 2 great games back to back. So Thad is here to receive an award today as well. You didn't quite blow people out. Everyone got extra going. Cameron Gillis for field goals, extra points, all that good stuff. Thank you, Cameron. Number 45, Nayron Jenkins emerged as the leader on that defense. I mean, he was all over the place. Representing that number 45, and we know who wore number 45, and he represented just like 45 all over the field. I know no Rattlers asking me. Okay. I was about to say, you need to check your card. You need to go pay again. And finally, we'd like to acknowledge first-team All-SWAC quarterback. For his career, he threw for over 10,000 yards. Daniel Richardson, thank you. Also graduating in December with his MBA. Let me say that again. Graduating next week with his MBA. Congratulations. So I'd like to bring Ms. Vicki Johnson up to start with the awards. Yeah, can we get our CEO up, please? Take the picture with the players with her holiday hat on.
Thank you, Vaughn, and good afternoon, Rattlers. And I would be remiss if I didn't follow the directions. This proud Gadsden County Rattler and all my other fellow Gadsden County Rattlers in the house, they told me to say that, because it doesn't matter whether we are here, there, or everywhere. Rattlers are Rattlers no matter what. And I do thank A.D. Suggs for saying that we are just as much Rattlers as anyone else. So just remember, we strike better and stronger together, with each other and not against each other.
So these are the Florida Classic.
Okay, the Florida Classic trophies. And I'm proud to say that we, skinned the cat? We tamed that cat, and we won. As a lifelong 44-year retired educator, I'm esteemed to be here to give awards today. because I'm reminded about how I rewarded my students, and as a school district administrator at the schools, the teachers, the students, and moving on to the district office, awarding those who I managed. So the reason why you're here today, all of us, is because of you. And we thank you, we appreciate you, and we now award these trophies for your hard, deserving work. So, FAMU versus in the Florida Classic, Bethune-Cookman University. The special team's most valuable player is Cameron Gills. Come on up, Cameron. Congratulations. Thank you, Cameron. Let's give him another hand. Special teams can win it for us. Next up, we have FAMU still in the Florida Classic versus Bethune-Cookman University, our defensive most valuable player, and that would be Natron Jenkins. Come on up. And Natron, as you come, Naron, thank you, Vaughn. I do value calling names correctly. So Naron, congratulations. And you are the only 45 around here we'll tolerate. All right. Naron is requesting a hat. Okay. We have our offensive most valuable player, Thad Franklin. Come on up. Congratulations. We should have bring you back. And I will now have our other Gadsden County Young Rattler come up to do the last game, Mr. Selvin Cobb. You're quite well.
Who's first? Okay. The first special teams MVP. Come back, come back. Is that okay? Right here. Special teams MVP. That goes to Mr. Alan Smith. Congratulations. our defensive MVP, Davion Westmoreland. He had class today, okay? We'll get that to him. Now, our last player of the year, our SWAC conference quarterback of the year, Mr. Daniel Richardson.
All right, before Daniel sits down, when I first met Daniel, he told me the story of why he came to FAMU. He's been an exemplary athlete his time here this year, and we certainly appreciate him coming. And not only being the starting quarterback, but obviously taking the leadership on the team, and the team kind of fed off of him. So, Daniel, I would like to offer you the opportunity to say a few words.
See, they always put me on the spot. I didn't even know I had to be here today. I had my legs kicked up, I'm just trying to relax. I took a couple hits this year, but other than that, I appreciate Rattler Nation, especially the 220 Club, the alumni, just being here at this organization, man. It's been a blessing to me, and words can't even describe, the accomplishments I've accomplished over these past games, and just the bonds that I built with the teammates that I have. But I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, sir. Oh, the Richardson family, Emma Richardson and all them. Oh, okay. He got a lot of family here because a lot of his family from Miami came up is up here. So we've seen a lot of rich supporters. To all our student athletes, thank you all. The reason we meet here every week is to try to make some impact on you all and make your life a little bit better as we go along the way, to help our athletic department to be as accommodating as we can. We don't have everything that the big schools have, but I promise you we got more love and more support right here than any other school. All right. Yes, ma'am.
We got you. We want you to be heard.
I just want to say a few words for the team. We, as Rattlers, I, as a Rattler, really, truly appreciate all your hard work you did this year. Quarterback, Richardson, I truly appreciate you from bouncing back after getting hit the way you got hit. You are a trooper. And we thank you for all your hard work. We thank you for your teammates that stood by you, fought with you, and we thank you for fighting for Florida A&M University.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. Guys, like I say, you really appreciate it. And we Rattlers, we're going to talk junk all during the game, but when it's over, we got your back. Always. Make sure that you nominate the dedicated member for the 220 Quarterback Club. And now we're going to, I got to go home. I guess my wife was wondering what I was doing every Wednesday at noon, so she decided to come today, my wife, Thais. So now she'll understand why you loading up all this equipment. And yes, sir. She saw you come in late. To our Rattlers Online, continue to support us. 220qbclub.com is how you can do it. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, our final meeting of the year will be next year. And right about now, we're going to have Next week, I'm sorry. I just had to pull a Mr. Jackson on y'all, make sure y'all were aware. I knew it was next week. But our last meeting of the year is next week, on the 11th. We want a packed house for the holidays. Don't forget, we have a few more belts. I think we sold about 5 of them, so there's only about 10 left, period, of these belts. They are $175, and a donation goes to the 220 Quarterback Club. See me at the table in the back afterwards. Yes, ma'am. A great thank you to Wilbur and Tommy Mitchell for organizing the bus rides. I saw the police escorts coming. I knew that was y'all coming up to the stadium. So that is, if you don't know what they're talking about, they arrange buses to the Florida Classic so you don't have to drive, pay for parking, and it's police escorted. So it's a nice way to get around in Orlando. And obviously next year we'll have that information out early so that you can participate in that. Don't forget, $5. I need to bring the mask up here. This mask came straight from Ghana. It was hand-delivered by Richard Moore a couple of weeks ago. And he gave A.D. Suggs one. And he gave us one to raise funds by giving away. You can't buy it. You gotta go in the giveaway. It's $5 each. This is a beautiful handcrafted in Ghana mask, African mask. This would look good in your Rattler room right next to your Rattler belt and your Rattler flags and all that other good stuff. Sam Dixie got all the tickets. My wife was wondering, I normally come home straight from the game. I'm tired and hungry and all of that. After the game, I happened to stop by Kelvin Rozier and Sam Dixie's tailgate. And I was full and a little tipsy by the time I got home. They had so much food, they could have fed the whole west side. Sam, I appreciate seeing y'all after the game. Once again, we got the mask. The giveaway tickets with Wilma are $5, only $5, and we're going to give it away next week, so you'll have it in time for the holidays. Oh, Richard Moore, yeah. Yeah, we appreciate him. He brought a great word and brought gifts from Ghana, and this is really a beautiful mask, and it's one of only 2. There are only 2. It's actually one of 1 because the one for A.D. Suggs was personalized. So this is the only one. This is a handcrafted one of 1 African mask, FAMU mask from Ghana. Tickets are $5 with Wilma up there. And so at this time, we're going to hit 2 videos. We're going to show the volleyball video, and then we're going to conclude with the football video from last week.
Match point for the Rattlers. Serve in. Pass Arellano. Good one. Middle. Hit Ruiz for the match. And McCormick saves it. The dig high in the air. Over the net. Shot off the block and out. Match point. Florida A&M. They have upset Nebraska in the Coliseum.
There's not many reasons, if any, to get teams and schools of the caliber of Stanford and Florida to come on our campus. Of course, we play JU on a regular basis, so they have been on our campus before, but Stanford and Florida have never been, to our knowledge at all, especially both schools at the same time on the Florida A&M campus, and this was an extreme honor for us to be the reason for those teams to come here. We've had few successful seasons leading up to the 2004 season. In 2004, the women's volleyball season at Florida A&M was a very special season of a lot of records, season of a lot of firsts, very special season for HBCUs and Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference as well. We had a great group of talent returning from the 2003 season when we were receiving votes for the top 25 in the national polls. We had passed the first round for the first time in school history and in conference history and in HBCU history, defeating Winthrop at the Atlanta Regional that year. And we carried on the momentum that we generated through the 2003 season. We played 2 out of 3 games against University of Florida in the spring, as well as Illinois, and we're able to come out with both with wins. We defeated Florida 2-1, which was ranked number 2 at the time, and 2-0 against University of Illinois, which was number 15 at the time. Going to University of Nebraska, we knew that being ranked in 2003, we have painted ourselves into a corner with losing 2 matches early in the season to teams that were not ranked at the time. And I remember sitting with the team at Gaither Gym and watching video of University of Nebraska playing against Notre Dame the previous week. And I've made the statement, well, we're going to have to go and win Nebraska tournament and beat University of Nebraska. So we went, so we can have a decent chance of making it to the NCAA tournament and get a respectable seed that will allow us to advance. And that's the mindset the team had going into University of Nebraska tournament.
With the 2004 volleyball team, I was the graduate assistant to the team. It was my second year being a member of the program. I don't think the girls really understood the magnitude of who they were playing and some of the venues that they had the opportunity to play in. And some of that may have had to do with them being international student athletes. With me being an American and growing up around volleyball and playing, having the opportunity to play in Nebraska, to play at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, going down to play against the University of Miami and a lot of big teams, that's a big deal. So I don't think they really understood the magnitude of how great they were as a team and as players, and then being able to showcase their talents in those types of venues. Definitely took me a minute having the opportunity to be a part of the program and be with the program, and going into some of those venues and going up against some of those teams. It felt really good to be able to say that, you know, I was a part of Florida A&M University volleyball, and we're playing UNC Chapel Hill and beating them in their own facility. Going out to Nebraska and playing volleyball in a venue. If you think about Gaither and some of the basketball days and basketball games here in Gaither, where it's hot, it's packed, it's no seating, students everywhere. It was that same atmosphere at the University of Nebraska. They packed the house, their fans packed the house, and you would have been shocked if you had walked inside to go, oh, it's a volleyball game going on, not basketball.
There was no fear of being against in hostile environment against the #1 team in the country. Well, I mean, there is no secret about the bigger teams being aware of the powerhouse that Florida A&M was at the time. And like I said earlier, it's been a building process leading up to the culminating success of the 2004 team. It began at 2001 with a victory over University of Miami, then leading into 2002 with our first win against the top 25 team, which was University of Louisville, ranked number 22 at the time. That particular year, we also had victories over LSU, University of Virginia. Then 2003 season, beating University of Georgia at University of Georgia to win that tournament, having success against University of Miami again, some ACC teams, some other bigger schools as well down the road, which ultimately prepared us to have that ultimate success of defeating the #1 team in the country and being afforded the opportunity for a first time to host an NCAA regional in Tallahassee as well. Matchup came up on the screen. The first one was Stanford versus Jacksonville, and then Florida versus Florida A&M in Tallahassee. And it was like a brief second of silence, and then of course roar and kind of like looking around the room at the players and the administrators, kind of a surprise. A lot of faces that we would be playing in Tallahassee, and we have two of the best programs in NCAA volleyball history coming to our gym to compete. Stanford was ranked #7 in that last poll that came out before the tournament. University of Florida was #12, and we're #22. We ended up hosting the eventual national champion with the greatest player that year, Ogona Namani, and one of the ever great to play NCAA volleyball as well. Olympian, professional player in Italy with accolades of a great person and a great volleyball player as well, and maybe a huge future Hall of Famer. John Dunning was the coach of the Stanford volleyball team at the time, one of the best coaches in the country of all time, and he had won national championships at University of Pacific and previously at Stanford prior to the 2004 season when they won the championship again. And he was extremely complimentary of our facilities and our campus and our southern hospitality. Had great things to say about the organization of the tournament and the way that the Stanford players and staff and fans were treated here in Tallahassee, and the great experience that University of Stanford fans and competitors had on the Florida A&M campus.
All right. Great job, guys. Great job. I do want to point out one more thing online. Thank you, Kenya Sykes, for pointing this out to me. The Marching 100 has been selected as one of two bands that will compete for the Band of the Year in Atlanta next week, along with the Celebration Bowl. They'll be competing against North Carolina A&T, and we already know who's going to win that one. So congratulations to Dr. Chipman. And we also have to give a big prop to Dr. Chipman and those students who came back, because that was a very nice showing at the game. I know the players appreciated to hear that extra noise coming from the student section and the band section, so we need to give them their props for coming back off of Thanksgiving. I know that's not the easiest thing to do, but congratulations to our Marching 100, and good luck next week in Atlanta. Stop by and get your tickets. We've got more tickets at the front with Wilma for the mask. They're only $5 each. We have a few more belts. They're on sale today until the last, I think there's probably 10 left. They're $175. And we have some more letters. If you are going anywhere and need to give out some more letters to gather us some more donors, we need your help. There are some more letters up front. Yes. that is something we gotta yeah, the March 100, their schedule is made far out, so I have no idea. The one thing I do not know about is the band. I like to watch them. I don't know all of the dynamics of the band, but are there any other questions or comments? Well, we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We did what we were supposed to do in the Classic so we can talk junk to our relatives during Thanksgiving. And all through the holidays, don't let them forget the Classic. If anybody has any questions about the shirt sizes, please meet us. I'm going to be at the table in the back. Once again, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week for our final Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club meeting of the year. Oh, and just one more reminder, the basketball games Friday night and Sunday are free, so we need to go support our Rattlers. Friday and Saturday, the basketball games are free this weekend, so no excuse not to go. Go support our team. And yes, Jimmy Mack, we will make that letter available digitally. Oh yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention. Our Tallahassee Democrat beat reporter is getting his graduate degree next week as well. Congratulations, Gerald.